מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד.
A black raven lived peacefully and contentedly in a vast forest. Throughout his life, he had never known lack or misfortune. One day he flew beyond the forest and saw a white swan gliding gracefully across a lake. The raven thought, what a beautiful swan, so noble, so white, while I am black and ordinary. Surely this swan is the most beautiful and happiest bird in the world. The raven landed next to the swan and shared his feelings. The swan replied, I too once thought that I was the happiest bird in the world until I saw a parrot. His feathers are so vibrant, the colors are so nice, while mine are plain and dull. The raven then flew to the parrot and told him of the swan's praise. The parrot responded, I also believed that the colors of my feathers were the most beautiful, and I was happy until I saw a peacock at the zoo. He spread his feathers, and I was stunned by such beauty. At that moment, I realized that the peacock must be the happiest bird in the world. The raven flew to the zoo to find the peacock. Suddenly, he noticed a crowd of 20 people gathered together. He approached and saw that they were all surrounding this peacock. In the evening, after everyone had left, the raven spoke to the peacock. My dear peacock, how beautiful you are! Your feathers shine in the sunlight and everyone flocks to see you while I'm shooed away. Surely you must be the happiest bird in the world. The peacock replied, I always thought that I was the most beautiful and the happiest, but this beauty has only brought me misery. Because of it, I'm imprisoned in the zoo. You, dear raven, may not be the most beautiful among birds, but you have something very special. You are free. No one crowds around you. You can fly wherever your heart desires. You, raven, are indeed the happiest bird in the world. We also often resemble the raven. We make unnecessary comparisons between ourselves and the others. And this leads us to undervalue our own worth, to feel sadness, envy, and a desire for better life, just like our friends. But Judaism teaches this is a mistake. We fail to appreciate ourselves and thank the Creator for the blessings we have, which others may lack. Do not compare yourself with others. The good you see in them may not make them happier. Look at the goodness you already have, and you will find that it's more than enough. Just as our daily prayers, a weekly celebration of Shabbat, invites us to step back from the rush of our daily lives and the endless comparisons that often cloud our minds. In the stillness of this sacred time, we find peace in the knowledge that we're exactly where we need to be, surrounded by good people and the blessings that are uniquely ours. As the 13th of Av in the year 5784, Shabbat Nachamu, approaches, we now invite Shani to light the Shabbat candles, letting their warm glow guide us into a place of comfort and gratitude.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us.
As their brightness.
As their brightness remind us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Well, have a nice service. Thank you very much. We begin with Lechu Neranena on the page 130. Please join us in this piece, which is related to Sunday. And in the meantime, think about the last Sunday that you had. What happened there? And how did it feel? Now, the week is going to an end. Lechu neranena l'Adonai nariya letzur isheinu nekadma fanav betodah bizmirot nariya lo כי אל גדול אדוני ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ ותועפות הרים לו אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ ותועפות הרים לו. God's is the sea, God made it, and the land which God's hands fashioned. Come, let us bow down and kneel, bend the knee before the Lord our Maker. For the Eternal One is our God, and we are the people God tends, the flock in God's care. Hayom im bakolo tishmau. We continue with the next psalm. Please join me. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. Tell of God's glory among the nations, God's wondrous deeds among all peoples. For the Eternal One is great and much acclaimed. God is held in awe by all divine beings. Let's recite the indented text on page 132 together. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exult. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of the Eternal One. For God is coming. God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples in faithfulness. We continue with Psalm 98. Please join our choir. And the choir today is not just an ordinary chord, but the augmented chord. Thank you, Rory, for being with us this evening.
חצוצרות וקול שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר, הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירום וימון לו, תבל ויגש ויבא, נהרות יבחרו יחד, הרים ירוננו, לפני אדוני יבא, לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט תבל וצדק, ועמים למשלים, ירום וימון לו, תבל ויגש ויבא, נהרות יבחרו יחד, הרים ירוננו.
Now we approach Lecha Dodi, a very beautiful and amazing psalm, piyut, poetic piece, born in the 16th century. We have a lot of rituals related to it, and we invite Shabbat as the queen to enter through the chosen door, that is our balcony door, and she comes at the last verse when we stand up and bow, welcoming her as befits the queen. And the reasons behind that is that Jewish people and God are like bride and the groom. They get together with such a passion and love from the very beginning, from the giving of the Torah. But now we consider we work all the week, and only on Shabbat, when we come back to our beloved, we can really join our hearts together and our souls together. There is a lot to say, there is a lot to share. Our people and God. There is a wonderful connection. So it is considered that Shekhinah, one of God's magical and mysterious appearances, is our partner. And in order to reach it, in order to feel it, we need to come forward, to come. And this is what this psalm, this piyut is about. We went to the fields once when it was invented, and we welcomed Shabbat, welcomed the sunset and the coming of a new day. Now we are sitting in a shul, but if our imagination is bad, no, it is good. So even if we don't see something, it doesn't mean that it does not exist. And when we turn on and tune our hearts, we are able to feel this love from God. We're on page 138. Please join the choir in singing and stand up and turn to the door at the very last verse. Sorry.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, תשמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד. Shabbat Kabbalah, Lechadodi Likrat Kahala, Pene Shabbat Kabbalah, Likrat Shabbat Lekuvenelcha, Ki Mekor HaBaracha, Perosh Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Mahaseh B'Machshavat Tchila. Shabbat Kabbalah, Hitoreri, Kivaore, Kumiori, Uri, Shidaberi, Tekota Johana Latika, Lechadodi Likrat Kahala, Peni Shabbat
Now we can officially say Shabbat Shalom. Let's spend a few moments and see and shake the hands of the people that we haven't seen at least for a week.
There's no track. Right.
No, there is a track.
A song for Shabbat.
Shile Yom HaShabbat. לשמך עליון, להגיד רבות לחסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נהר, עלי היגיון שמך עליון, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך הרענן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. משמאל שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Let's finish this psalm on the page 140, the indented text together. The righteous bloom like a date palm. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the Eternal One's house, they flourish in our God's courts. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that God is upright, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. We continue with Kaddish on the page 144. Please rise.
ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
יעמד יברח חירותי וימלך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל.
Magan amizman karif ve'imeru. Amen. Yesh miraba mevorach le'olam lol me'al maya.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשא
בריחו
לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירון בעלמה.
וימרו
אמן. Lie, lie, lie.
This was the transition for the main part of the evening service, called Ma'ariv, evening service. We can be seated now. We open page 149. Let's recite this amazing rendition of the first blessing before Shema on the page 149 at the top together. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch Ata Adonai HaMa'ariv HaRavim. If someone was ever wondering why there are so many talented, well-educated people among the Jewish people, just see our prayers, how wonderful and how literate and how wise and deep they are. Let's recite the second one in English as well, but the benediction will be in Hebrew. It's page 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life and the length of our days. Never remove your love from us. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who loves your people Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel. Now we stand to recite the 6 words from which our faith starts. Shema Israel, hear, O Israel, the Eternal One is our God. The Eternal God is one. Please join the choir. Close your eyes with a full palm or 3 fingers symbolizing letter Shin, the first letter of this passage.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am your eternal God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God, Adonai Elohechem,
Emet, we may be seated now. These words, Shema Israel, and the first passage after that is found in our current Torah portion that we read this week in Parashat Va'et Hanan. And we are going to recite it tomorrow from the Torah scroll. So we just picked in the tomorrow's day. They say we shouldn't know the future, but we do know. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea, Mi Chamocha, page 158.
Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nekar hakodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele, malchut karahu hanecha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Amen. Give us a place to rest, eternal our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you our true protection and safety, and in your presence our acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Over all we love, over your Jerusalem and yours, over our Jerusalem and yours. Blessed are you, eternal one, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch ata Adonai, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We are the people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted for a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We transition now to tefillah, to amidah, to the prayer, to our dialogue with God. I invite you all to rise and open page 164 and follow the liturgy.
Adonai sefatai tiftach u'hothiat tehillah Adonai sefatai tiftach u'hothiat tehillah Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'Elohei morteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Yisrael לפני הכל. וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזה ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריע השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך מניב ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן דרך היוד הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat 174. נשיא אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל ובתפילתם מהר תקבל. ויהי רצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. אל קרוב לכל קורב פנה אל עבדיך וחוננו. שפוך רוחך עלינו ותחזינה עינינו לשובך לציון ברחמים. ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון.
נשיא אדוני אלוהינו לעמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל.
God of goodness, we are grateful for your many bounties, for the protecting care with which your love shelters us, for the knowledge that wherever we are in your presence. May your teachings enrich our lives and challenge us to give evidence of our devotion. May our words and our deeds hallow your name and make us worthy of your blessings. ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד, וכל החיים יודוך סלע, יעללו את שמך באמת. היי ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה להודות.
Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael, Amcha tasim leolam, ki ata melech Adon lechol hashalom, v'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et ובכל שעה בשלומך ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. Thank you very much. We may be seated now. Let's spend a few moments being present. We live in a fast-paced world. Think about how we order our coffee in the morning. It's not enough that it's brewed fresh. We want it in seconds without even leaving our cars. When we shop, we expect the next day delivery, and when we communicate, we're frustrated if a text isn't answered immediately. We're surrounded by instant everything. Instant messaging, instant results, instant gratification. And while this has made our lives more convenient in many ways, it's also made us increasingly impatient. We've come to expect things to happen immediately, and we often look for the fastest route, for the fastest shortcut to get what we want. In such a world, impatience had become our default mode. We want everything now, and we want it all at once. Imagine being stuck in traffic when you're running late. You can feel the frustration building as each second ticks by, and you'd give anything to find a faster way. Or think about waiting for news, whether it's a job offer or important email. You check your phone obsessively, anxious for an answer, wishing there was a way to speed it all up. What we also don't have time to think about is that such mindsets might be very dangerous. An extraordinary story happened to a poor Jew living in one of the towns of Morocco. He was raising 9 children in extreme poverty. Occasionally, his well-off cousins from Rabat would send him an envelope with some money. They were engaged in trade and manufacturing and would sometimes offer financial assistance to their less fortunate relatives so that he could celebrate the holidays with dignity. And 1 year before the high holidays, the precious envelope had yet to arrive. Day after day passed and the poor man remained without money. With Rosh Hashanah approaching, he grew increasingly anxious. Each day this Jew would watch the postman with hope, but the long-awaited envelope never came. Between the Mincha and Ma'ariv prayers, he overheard some of the town's poor discussing the donations and generous gifts they had received through the local post, and his heart sank, consumed by envy. It seems my relatives have forgotten me, he thought. They are busy with their own lives, while I'm stuck here in this small town, barely earning a few coins each day. How will I buy chicken, meat, fish, and vegetables for the high holidays meal? As Rosh Hashanah drew nearer, fear grew in the heart of this Jew, who felt abandoned and forgotten by everyone. Eventually, the evil inclination, which often leads naive people astray, began whispering to him, "Why should you worry? This evening, the postman with envelopes for the poor will be passing through our neighborhood. With just a little effort, walk by him, grab an envelope, and run. What you will find inside will be enough for all the holidays of Tishrei. This isn't a theft," the evil inclination continued to whisper, "but a necessary action. And if God wills, you can return everything you took when your financial situation improves. Why suffer? Why cause such suffering to your wife, to your children? Your life and family are most important to you, even by law." The cunning evil inclination knew its craft well. When a person is troubled and desperate, it sees the fertile ground on which to sow the seed of disaster. In the darkness, our Jew followed the postman, slipped his hand into the mailbag, and snatched a thick envelope. "Stop!" the postman roared, but the thief had already run into considerable distance and appeared into a dark alley with an envelope in hand. He ran about 10 minutes, grasping for breath, though no one was chasing him anymore. Finally, he hid behind the wall of a dilapidated house. He opened the envelope and, to his great joy, he found inside the sum of 500 liras, which is enough to cover his expenses. The money came with a letter. "Greetings to you, dear cousin. We have not forgotten you. We wish you from the bottom of our heart a good and blessed year, health and financial well-being. With love, your cousins from Rabat." And his soul nearly departed from his body. This turned out that the stolen envelope was meant for him all along. An hour later, the 2 policemen arrived at his home and escorted him to the regional court, and the judge sentenced him to 1.5 months in prison. The Jew cried out, "But this envelope was intended for me." "True," the judge smiled, "you stole what was already yours. However, the law knows no exception. Anyone who steals an envelope from a postman is sent into prison." "Alas," lamented the condemned man, "if only I had been a bit more patient and had more faith in the Creator, I wouldn't be suffering needlessly now. God made sure my relatives did not forget me, but I foolishly thought I could provide for my family through such a terrible act. Woe to me! How did I fall into the clutches of this evil inclination?" This story as extraordinary as it is, highlights something that many of us struggle with in our fast-paced world: impatience. We often want to take matters in our own hands, to force outcomes, especially when we feel like we're running out of time. But the lesson here is clear. Our impatience can lead us astray, causing us to act out of fear rather than faith. In our week's Torah portion, Vayet Hanan, we read the famous words of the Shema and Ve'ahavta, which command us to love God with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our might. But what does it mean to love God in such a way? It means having absolute faith in divine timing, trusting that things will unfold as they're meant to, even when we cannot see the path ahead clearly. When Shema teaches us that true love of God involves our heart, soul, and might, it's much more than just a question of belief. It also involves trust, patience, and the willingness to surrender our need for control. Impatience, on the other hand, often leads us down the wrong path, always from trust and towards actions that we later regret. As we reflect on this special Shabbat, Shabbat Nachamu, Shabbat of comfort and renewal, we're transitioning from the devastation that we were recalling all the 3 weeks of Bein HaMetzarim, between the straits, up until the 9th of Av, and we transition from this period to the future, to the approaching high holidays. In a world that moves at breakneck speed, let's remember to slow down a bit and always trust in God's timing, and to have faith that what is meant for us will come, if only we can be patient enough to wait for it. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. I'm very happily inviting Chantal Eager and Brad Lever to open the Ark for us, because of special time in their lives, they've got engaged recently, and we want to be together with them. We want them to this great honor. We are concluding the service with Aleinu L'Shabeach on the page 587. As soon as Chantal and Brad will open the Ark, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לאחד את שמו, וגורלנו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו. ידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Perfect timing.
Thanks.
יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ונם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד
This week, from Beit David, we remember Fred Lob, father of Leslie Lob, Fred Smolan, father of Doug Smolan, Louise Hoff, father of Cyril Hoff, Daphne Norris, mother of Mike Norris, Ivan Weitzman, father of Ashley Sweek. From Beit Menorah, Pretoria, we remember Michael Turner, father of Pam Levitt, and Jack Karp, husband of Merrill Karp. Those who passed away recently: Ethel Hirschfeld, friend of Adelaide Reuters; Israel Henig, elder brother of Eli Henig; Pat van Flyman, mother of Ruth and Debbie van Flyman, grandmother of Ariel, Harrison, and Aidan, sister-in-law of Brian and Martine van Flyman, and mourned by all Beit David congregation. Brian David Klaas, husband of Renata Klaas; Hilary Learning, grandmother of Susanna Voisey; Pam Margaret Doninger, wife of late Dr. Cyril Doninger; Ruth Bat Avraham, mother of Anne Simon, Lynn Dvorzetsky, Janine Hansen, and Raymond Doninger. If you have more names to include, just think of the people or say out loud. Choir? We also remember those who lost their lives in wars, those who have no one to remember them. Please join me on page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמד יברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביומי חון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה פרי. לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, ואמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Thank you. We may be seated now. Thank you everyone for attending the service in person. There are so many people. We wish every Shabbat would be at least such amount of people. Nice to see the young, old faces coming back. And religion school tomorrow starts morning at 8:15. Next Friday, 24th of August, from 5:45 p.m., Downstairs in the Middleton Hall, Netzer will be running a youth activity. It's always fun. So for more details, please contact Diane McCall, Mora Diane. Next Shabbat, already morning, 24th of August, Mike Norris will facilitate a webinar presentation by Rabbi Jeremy Rosen on the topic Life and Death. Rabbi Rosen will be discussing the idea of death from a range of different opinions and come to some sort of conclusion as to how we should deal with it. Tomorrow is a special day, special celebration, not just Shabbat Nachamu, but also Shabbat when we welcome those who've just came through this torture of Beit Din, which everybody was afraid of, and they did it successfully, and we want, as a community, to congratulate them and to hug them and to show that we are very happy. So please come. They will come up to the Torah for the first time, led by Mora Dayan, their teacher, and she will read Shema Yisrael and Ve'ahavta together with them. So please be. It only happens once in a lifetime for them. We continue then after we continue here. We continue in the foyer for Kiddush and song by the children. They prepared hardly. So after Kiddush, please grab your child or any child that looks like yours, more or less. Put hands on one's head. First to the boys will do, second to the girls, next time opposite. And we'll recite the blessing for the kids, and then they will sing us the Hamotzi and the wonderful song that they've studied. And now we continue the service with singing of Ein Keloheinu on page 626. And I want to say thank you to Rory and to the choir and to the tech desk and to everyone who is present here. This, regular chord, it's enough to have like 2-3 notes, but when there are 4 notes, it becomes very, you cannot forget this. It's very special. So thank you, Rory, for being our 7th. We continue, 626, sing along, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat